Adams to Kwara governor. It is absolute lunacy to say Ilorin has been captured for Islam and no other form of worship will be allowed. Yes, it is a very bad one. Okay, His Excellency Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, Government House, Ilorin, Kwara State, Your Excellency. Okay, religious fanaticism, clear and present danger in Ilorin. So the governor of Kwara State is now saying that Kwara State is an Islamic state now, and no other religion is allowed to exist in that state. That is absolute religious madness. That is it. And so because of that, Gani Adams has written the governor to let him know that that is absolute lunacy. Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution states, the government of the federal or of a state shall not adopt any religion as state religion. So it is because of this legal truism that I want to bring to your notice a clear and present danger in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, which may lead to an implosion if something drastic is not done immediately to checkmate some religious fanatics already on the rampage. These fanatics have demonstrated through their actions their lack of respect for the Constitution of Nigeria. Kwara is known as the state of harmony, and the three main religions, Christianity, Islam, and traditional, have coexisted for more than 400 years. Pitiably, some fanatics want to turn it to a state of hostility, hatred, belligerence, blood, and tears, and as the chief security officer says so, you should not allow this affront. Obviously, Ilorin was founded by the Yoruba and we have never prevented anybody from practicing his or her faith. Ilorin is also a Yoruba city with a large Muslim population, but there are still many Christians and traditionalists practicing their faith and praying to God. I am writing this letter to you to please prevail on the Emir of Ilorin, retired Justice Ibrahim Kolapo Sulu Gambari, not to allow any Muslim fanatic invoke his name to cause insurrection, because this can lead to a religious war. I'm sure you know the recent story of a devotee of Oshun deity who wanted to practice her faith in peace, and she was visited by some belligerent Islamic leaders who warned her that something terrible, physical harm, may happen to her if she does not stop immediately. Your Excellency, this is the 21st century, not the 18th century. I want to tell those fanatics that there is something called rule of law in all parts of Nigeria, including Ilorin, and it is unsavory, okay, for anybody to ignore this and opt for rule of fanaticism. It is absolute lunacy for anybody to say Ilorin has been captured for Islam and no other form of worship will be allowed, tolerated, or accepted. This is the trait of spiritual illiterates. It is very important to say also that Ilorin to Jeba is the boundary between the Yoruba and the North. If the legendary and patriotic Dr. Tai Solarin were to be alive today and choose to live in Ilorin, only God knows what would have happened to him in the hands of these fanatics. Your Excellency, religion is personal. As long as you don't allow your belief to affect others, I am sure no traditionalist will go to any church or mosque to practice his or her faith. I was born by a Muslim father and a Christian mother, and when we were growing up, there was harmony in our family. Even now, there is still harmony among my family members. That is why in Yoruba land there are Christians and Muslims in an average family. Religious faith is personal. You pray to God in various languages, but to the same God. There is no religion that supports fanaticism. So why should anybody stop traditionalists from worshiping Oshun deity when they have not said they will do the festival in a church or mosque? Your Excellency, we don't want what happened in Sokoto when Deborah was murdered by some bloodthirsty maniacs in the name of religion, to happen in Ilorin. I don't know how the festival will affect Christians praying in the church or Muslims praying in the mosque. Even the Even in Israel and Saudi Arabia, leaders of these two countries do not allow religious fanaticism to affect their technological advancement. As the Chief Security Officer of the state, I want you to prevail on heads of religious sects in Ilorin not to disturb others from practicing their faith. Recall that a few years ago, some fanatics attacked some churches and Christians in Ilorin, leading to loss of lives and property. Christians, Muslims, and traditionalists don't serve a God of destruction and darkness, but a God of tolerance, invention, creativity, and light. Wow. So these are the things that, the letter that this man is writing to, that is Gani Adams is writing to the governor of Kwara State to prevail on the religious leaders in that state, so that they don't go and say that the state is captured for Muslims alone. That is not true. Traditionalists, Muslims, and Christians have coexisted over the period, and so the emir of Ilorin should not cause problem for other religious practitioners. That is what Gani Adams is saying here. And the governor should also prevail, because the governor, like has been said here, is the chief security officer of the state and should not allow what happened in Sokoto or what happened in some part of the country by religious fanatics to happen there. And he has confirmed here that the Ilorin was even founded by, or Kwara State was founded by Yorubas, and they have allowed different kinds of religions to coexist over the period. This is 21st century and not 18th century, where all these things probably would have happened. Okay, so that is what Gani Adams is saying in his letter to the governor of Kwara State to prevail on the emir of Ilorin not to cause a problem. Somebody said, I don't understand what is so special about Islamic religion. Somebody said, nothing much special than the monotheism where we worship only one God. Can you imagine? The Yoruba Muslims in Ilorin have been mentally enslaved by religious and subjecting them to second-class indigence. These people are law-abiding citizens. So even the fact Gani Adams is writing this letter means Ilorin is over as an Islamic city. Bam. So when you guys start your Oro in Ile-Ife or Oshogbo, you urge the provision of law nonsense. Okay, you forgot the provision of law. Yes, because when they are doing Oro, they want all Christians and the Muslims and other practitioners to leave and enter inside their house. They shouldn't come out. Exactly. Pele, you are ignorant. You don't even know who you are. Can you imagine? They're insulting themselves there again. That is the newest tool the mischievous politicians have learned to deploy in winning over their gullible audience. They use ethnicity to win Southwest for Tinubu when they noticed APC was about to lose in Lagos. Now they've noticed its effectiveness. They want to perfect it by employing religion as well. They noticed how Buhari and other elites in the north have successfully deployed it to win election and stay in power. Religion is not our problem. It's the politicians who are doing all this. Okay? You carry religion for head like Dada Habi. So that is what is happening in Kwara State. Gani Adams has written a letter to the governor of the state to ensure that the emir of Kwara does not cause problem in that state. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment in this regard.